everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Crafting and Crime Daily, the show where I, Rebecca, Crafting Journey, recap life trials. There's not one going on right now that I'm recapping. Hopefully something will start up on Monday. We shall see. But I have a true crime story for you today. But first, let me show you what I'm working on. Crafting. Working on another gnome. This one. These are panels that I'm going to be putting together to make a very large king size blanket. This particular one is going to be this, I don't know if you can see, it's a little rubber ducky gnome. It's the male one. So I did a female. I just finished that a few weeks ago. That was the scuba diving. She had a little scuba thing on her. So this is the male gnome, and he's in the pool with his rubber ducky. I know. It's only been half the year. I still have, this will be number 11, my 11th square, because sometimes I do more than one a month. And it's going to be a very, very big blanket. It is. So let's talk about the story of Alexee Trevizo. Now, this has been all over YouTube. So if you've already heard it, I apologize. But listen in. Maybe there's something you haven't heard about this story. So Alexee, she is living with her mom, her sister, her stepfather. They're in this rural southeast New Mexico in a small town called Artesia. And if I'm mispronouncing it, I apologize. No habla español here. So it's about 12,000 people, this town. It's in Eddy County, and it's southeast New Mexico, not far from the border of Mexico. So on January 26th, Alexee, well, before I get there, let me tell you, this girl, she's 19. She's a senior. Now, I was 17 when I was a senior, but whatever age you are when you're a senior, there's a certain mentality that goes with it. I mean, you're going to school every day, you got a boyfriend, it's, I don't know. She's not working. She's been on the cheerleading squad since she was in the 9th grade. She's an honor student. She's applied to and gotten into a college. She's had the same boyfriend for 2+ years. And, this is her senior year. She's living it up. I'll show you a picture of her when she's a senior here. And also, this is her participating on the cheerleading squad. Take a look. Yeah. Now, if you think you know where this is going, did you notice anything about her when she was cheerleading? Did you notice anything? Put it down in the comments if you notice. Pause the video, put it in the comments. What do you think? Where do you think I'm going with this? Yeah, you're probably right. So in December of 2022, she goes to Alexee General Hospital, and she has back pain. They treat her, release her on January 26th of 2023. She goes to sleep that night. Normal day. She spends, 4 hours working out with the cheerleading squad. She goes to sleep that night, and she wakes up around 11 o'clock-ish with horrible back pain. So mom says, okay, we're going to the doctor. So she puts her in the car. They go to the hospital. The hospital, the same one that treated and released her back in December, they put her in an exam room and they're questioning her, and they're like, you've got back pain. Now, when someone that age is talking about back pain, you're thinking urinary tract infection, kidney problems, because right here, your kidneys, right here, your flank, right there, and that's what they're thinking. But in an abundance of caution, when you're questioning someone about their pain, especially that kind of pain, one of the questions is, could you be pregnant? Oh, no, no, no. Did you write down pregnancy? No, no. Have you ever had sex? Oh, no, no. Now, mom is in the room. That was their first mistake. First of all, she's 19. They should not have been questioning her with her mom in the room. Okay, we're going to get into what I think the hospital did wrong later on. But in any case, mom's in the room. Oh no, never had sex, not pregnant. I've gained a little weight because I'm on the birth control pill. Been having regular periods. I'm fine. So they're like, okay. So they're running blood work. And one of the blood tests that they run is a pregnancy test. It's just not a no sweat off your back. You just pull up the computer and you're checking off the labs and you check pregnancy tests. Well, the pregnancy test comes back positive. Now, here's what's not clear whether she was told that the pregnancy test was positive before she decides, hey, I've got to have a bowel movement. I got to go to the bathroom. So she tells one of the nurses, I got to go to the bathroom. Now, they've already given her morphine for her pain. And all I can do is equate it to the one time I went to the doctor. I was having this incredible back pain. It turned out, yeah, that's what it was, a UTI and kidney problems. So, but they gave me morphine. And I got to tell you, I was out of it. Now, I don't know how much they gave her, but I was like, I was in la la land. I was having a good old time. Like, yeah, man. So, but anyway, she's got to go to the bathroom. So instead of like helping her to the bathroom, okay, I said I wasn't going to talk about this yet, but anyway, instead of helping her to the bathroom because she's had morphine, she's a fall risk. You show her where the call light is in case she's in trouble, she needs your help. There's a cord that you can pull in the bathroom. They just let her out of the bed and she goes off to the bathroom. And there's video footage, surveillance footage from the hospital camera that shows her holding her butt as she's running to walking fast to the bathroom. Now, I've been there. Yeah. So she gets in the bathroom. She's in there for like 10 minutes. Now, I want you to hear what happens in the words of the CNA, the certified nursing assistant. Here's what she says happens at this point.
She had buzzed to go to the bathroom, so one of the nurses was going in there anyways because she was gonna set up for them to do like, pap smear and everything. So she was like, I'll go ahead and disconnect her and she'd go to the bathroom. So I was like, all right. So she was in the bathroom and then Chris, which is one of our other nurses, he was like, because I was like, dang, she's flushing that toilet like an awful lot.
Oh, so you noticed her toilet
Flushing, yes. And then he was like, well, damn. So I went and I knocked on the door and I said, are you okay? And she said, yes, I'm fine. I'm just having a hard time going to the bathroom, is what she replied. So I was like, okay. And then as I walked, push the call light if you need anything.
So you told her to push call light if
Yeah, if she needed anything. And then, like a few more flushes had gone by, and then that's when Chris was like, I don't know, because I told him, what if she's having a miscarriage in there and, flushing stuff down the toilet? So he knocked on the door, and he's like, you gotta unlock this door. And then she wouldn't reply, and he's like, if you don't reply, he goes, and then that's when she heard him call for me. And he was like, Laura, you got the spare key to this bathroom? And I was like, yeah. Because we keep like a ring of keys by the desk where I sit. So I went and I got the key, and just as we were getting ready to open the door, she opened it, and all I saw was like blood everywhere, like on the walls, on the toilet. It just looked like a horror film.
Now, was it covering the floor, or was it like splotches?
You could tell she was wiping it up with paper towels because it was like smeared.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyways, the floor was just smeared with blood. Blood on the wall, like on the toilet and stuff. And
do you remember which wall?
Oh, it was like the back wall between the toilet and the sink.
In your line of work, what would cause that kind of splatter?
I think something that got pulled out or ripped. like if you rip something and blood just went, it was like once you see the photo, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's just
So like you say, like rip, like something went like that.
yeah, like if you when you rip something or if you cut something and you go like you swing your hand and blood just splatters.
Okay, so
That's how it looked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we just kept hearing the paper towel dispenser going and the toilet flushing. So yeah, when we opened up the door, like we saw that, and then I noticed she had bloody footprints that she was leaving, going back to the room that we had put her in. So I had called housekeeping, which was Leela, and I was like, "Hey, Leela, I'm sorry to bother you." I said, "But I think this patient just had a miscarriage in our bathroom, and she left like a mess. If you could come and clean it." And she said, "Okay." So she came down and she started cleaning it, and then she went to pick up the wastebasket, and then that she put the basket down and she yelled for me, and she was like, "Lori, come here, the wastebasket's heavy." And I was like, What do you mean the wastebasket's heavy?" So when I picked it up and I moved it towards the door, I was like, "Shit, it is heavy." So I pulled it out because it had like a fresh liner inside, so we didn't think nothing of it because we looked. So when I pulled the liner out, there was like paper towels. And we had rolled trash bags already in there, but she had grabbed a few and like balled them up and put them on top of him. So when I removed them, that's when I noticed the baby on the bottom of the trash can just wrapped in the bag. Like she had it tight, like because it was the top was twisted and then like tucked under, like so it wouldn't open up.
So basically, if you
Like when you grab trash and you like
swing it and then you fold it over to like put it down or whatever.
Yeah, that's how it
And
went.
it was clear.
It was a clear bag. Yeah, it's one of those clear bags.
So you
So it was a
saw
hospital liner.
So you saw the baby inside the bag.
Yeah, and then when I picked it up, that's when I noticed it even more because all I saw was black and purple. But once we picked it up, like the bag suctioned to his face, and that's when I yelled for my charge nurse, which was HT, and I told him, "Hey, she put her baby in the trash can." So I handed the baby to him, and he took off to the trauma room and opened up the bag, and then that's when we went and got Dr. Vasquez.
Yeah. So one of the things, I don't know if she mentions it or not, but after Alexee goes to the bathroom, about a minute later, her mom follows her, knocks on the bathroom door. They're having a conversation. We don't know what the conversation was about. And then the mom walks back to the room. And then a few minutes later, mom goes back to the bathroom. Same thing, walks back to the room. And the nurses keep checking on her. And as you heard in the video, they keep checking on her. And finally, when they say they're going to go get a key to get her out of there, because she's in there for longer than 10 minutes, once they say they're going to go get the key, she opens the door, and you heard the description of what they found. So they call the housekeeper, they find the baby. The charge nurse, this male charge nurse, takes the baby, runs to the trauma room, puts the baby out on a table. Um, the charge nurse, or not the charge nurse, that's the charge nurse. The doctor is in the middle of giving Alexee a vaginal examination in which she's finding a great deal of blood, and her cervix is wide open. That means she just had a baby. So they call her away from the vaginal exam to come into the trauma room where this baby is clearly beyond resuscitation. And one of the interviews with the charge nurse that occurs 3 months after the fact, one of the things he said his biggest regret is that he did not have the opportunity to save that baby's life. Now, this is one of those hospitals where if you don't want your baby, you can just drop it off. Why didn't she call for help? So once they figure out that the baby is beyond resuscitation and the ER doc declares the baby deceased, they call the police. So here's a video of the charge nurse talking to the police. Now, this is all on body camera. I'm not, I didn't make any of this up. It's all on body camera. The sources that I'm using are all, police body cams, court documents. Other than that, you're just getting my opinion here, especially when it comes to what I think the hospital did wrong. But in any case, here's the charge nurse.
So we started working her up. We did a pregnancy test on her, showed positive. She was denying that she had sex. Then she said she had to go to the bathroom. She went to the bathroom. She was in there for quite a while. We kept knocking on the door. Finally, we got her to open the door, and there was blood and shit everywhere. She was cleaning it up. Okay. So we took her back to the room, and I was afraid that she knew she was pregnant and she had done something to herself. Mm-hmm. So the doctor started doing a vaginal exam on her. We had the lady come to clean the bathroom. She put the baby in the trash can, and then she put another clean liner over the top of it. Oh, wow. Okay. So when they looked in there, there was no trash in there, but it was underneath the clean bag. The baby's dead. Okay, we have him in trauma too, but she killed the kid.
Yeah. How old was the baby?
I don't know. It's full term. She just had it. She had it in the bathroom. Was what happened, and then whatever she did, I don't know. She's gonna lie. She wouldn't even tell us she's pregnant. She's been lying the whole time. Okay. So that's what's going on. I just pulled the doctor out of the room, so nothing's been said to the patient or the mother that's in there yet.
Wow. Just wow. Yeah. And he goes on later on to explain in his interview that they do 3 months later, they interview all of the people again. They interview the ultrasound tech because they have an ultrasound done afterwards. They interview the housekeeper, the certified nursing assistant, several of the nurses, the charge nurse, the doctor. They're all interviewed. And I've seen all of the interviews, and it's quite lengthy, especially the charge nurse. So after the charge nurse talks to the police initially, I showed you that part. Then the emergency room doctor comes up and they come up with a plan. So the next footage I'm going to show you, they go into her room and the doctor tells her what they found. Here it is.
I'm sorry, there's we discovered a dead baby in the bathroom. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. He came out and I didn't know what to do.
Lexi, I told you about this.
But it
I just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth.
scary. It was not crying or nothing.
What did you do to it? Okay, stop right here.
Do you guys have? I'm the charge nurse here. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Like, how big is the baby?
It's full term.
What?
Nothing,
9 months?
nothing was crying.
Lexi, have you watched the news of the girls what they do to their babies and what they go to jail?
Nothing was crying.
Okay. So as of right now, like what I said is, we're gonna have the detectives come over here and they're gonna talk to you. Okay. We have to gather some more information about what's going on. They'll get your statement. They're gonna get the doctor's statements. They're gonna get everybody's statements. Okay. So I don't know everything yet. Okay. So I'm not gonna tell you. I can't tell you nothing, honestly. Okay. All I can say is,
Gonna go to jail.
right now
No.
right now she's being detained. So she's not gonna leave from here at all. Period. Okay. So one of us will be in
your custody. Like,
yeah, she's detained. Yeah, she's not under arrest, but she is detained. Okay, she's not free to leave. So while this whole thing is coming up, you're not free to leave. Okay, one of us will be in here the whole time with you, because you're not going to try to leave or nothing like that. All right. Like I said, the detectives will be here. They're going to talk to you. I mean, your care is of the utmost right now. Okay, they're going to do what they need to do to take care of you, to make sure you get stable. They get you transferred out or whatever. Like I said, the detectives are already been notified. They're already on the way, so they're going to come talk to you. All right. So don't leave. Don't try to do nothing. One of us is always going to be in here in this room with you. Okay. Unless we have to step out for doctor's orders or something like that, because they need to examine you or do something with you. But other than that, like I said, you are detained. You are not free to leave at this point. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mom, obviously, very surprised, but the affect of Alexei is just weird. At one point, it almost looks like she's smiling. She looks like she was just in an absolute panic. An absolute panic. I think that's what happened. She panicked. But she's clearly not surprised by what they found, and she immediately says, you know, it came out of me. I didn't know what to do. It wasn't crying. I find it very hard to believe that a 19-year-old, number one, doesn't know she's pregnant. Number two, that even if you find out, as if you didn't know you were pregnant and the baby's coming out of you, why you didn't give someone the opportunity to resuscitate that baby. Now, are they a very religious family? I suspect so, because in one of the pieces of body cam footage that I watch where they go to uh, Alexee's home to arrest her, and this is after the fact, because what they do after she has the baby is they life flight her to a hospital that has OBGYN services so that they can figure out if she has delivered the placenta. And if not, they're probably going to have to take her into the OR for a DNC to get the placenta out. What ultimately happens is she apparently the placenta, she flushed it down the toilet during that bathroom because they never do find the placenta. So she's treated and released from the hospital that they air flighted her to. Then she goes back to school like nothing ever happened. She goes back to school, her boyfriend goes back to school, and now there's rumors going around school that, she had a baby and the baby was dead and she killed it and she was arrested for murder. And but she continues on, finishes high school. She's not allowed to go to graduation. Does go to the prom though. There she is at the prom with her boyfriend. That is the father of the baby, by the way. So here's the part that gets me throughout all of the footage, and I haven't shown you all of it because it would take hours. I don't ever hear anyone, not her, not her mom, not the boyfriend, not the boyfriend's mom, not her stepdad. None of these people ever say, hey, was it a boy or a girl? Mm-mm. Nobody asks about the baby. They want to know, is she going to go to jail? What's going to happen to her? I would be saying, hey, was it a boy or a girl? At least ask. They don't. They never ask the question. Now, the baby was sent for autopsy, and the medical examiner determined that I have not seen the autopsy report. I'm curious about what gestational age the medical examiner thought that this baby was. The charge nurse uses the full term, full term. But there's other ways you can tell the gestation of a baby, and I'd like to know from the medical examiner what the gestational age was. But nonetheless, the one of the findings at autopsy is that the baby had air in his lungs. It was a boy. The baby had air in his lungs, which meant he was breathing. He was born alive. He took breaths before she put him in the trash can, then tied the liner around, twisted it around, tucked it under the knees, put it in the trash can, put other bags over it, and then put a fresh liner in. There's a lot of thought that goes into what she did. So, did she not think, hey, I'm in a hospital. Why don't I let them take care of the baby? What was she so scared of? Oh, I started to tell you. In the footage, the body cam footage where they go to arrest her and mom is standing at the door, not Alexee, but her mother is standing at the door and she's on the phone with her lawyer and she's asking, what are you arresting her for? If you look beyond her, there's a cross hanging in the foyer or whatever, the alcove, the entryway to the home. So probably a very religious family, I suspect. I'm not religious. You're not going to find a cross in my home anywhere. There's no crosses here. Just my observation. So when they do arrest her, she is charged with first-degree murder. She is charged with child abuse resulting in death and tampering with evidence. Now, if she's found guilty of first-degree murder, she's obviously facing life in prison without the possibility of parole. If she's found guilty of the lesser charge, child abuse resulting in death, that serves 18-year sentence. That's an 18-year sentence. The lawyer spoke. They have a lawyer. The lawyer said, she's a very good girl. She has no criminal record, not even a traffic infraction. He intends to prove that there was HIPAA violations on the part of the hospital. That's the Privacy Act. And that there was malpractice on the part of the hospital. And he intends to prove that she didn't know she was pregnant. And that the baby died through no fault of her own. I suspect he's going to argue that the baby came out dead. The medical examiner doesn't seem to support that theory, but that's going to be part of her defense at trial, which is set for October. Oh, I've seen through, because like I said, this has been all over YouTube. I have seen through, for example, the Daily Mail is reporting that her friends have come forward. I don't know what kind of friends these are, but they've come forward and said, oh no, she knew she was pregnant. She was trying to hide it. She apparently one of the cheerleading coaches even asked her, are you expecting? And she's like, nope, it's just the birth control that I was started on birth control. It's weight from that. Now, with respect to the malpractice, let's talk about that for a second. I want to know what happened when she went there in December. Obviously not in labor then, but having back pain, maybe having some Braxton Hicks contractions, whatever. How did they not see that she was pregnant? And at least document that or have a discussion with her about that? No. And then when she comes in January, now, what the certified nursing assistant that interviewed said she did not look pregnant, but she was wearing a hoodie. So maybe she just wore baggy clothes all the time. Well, you saw the cheerleading video that I showed you at the beginning. She looks quite pregnant to me. So let me know your thoughts on this case. What do you think? What do you think the outcome should be? Should she be accountable for what she did in that bathroom? Is she just an immature 19-year-old that panicked, that's been sheltered her whole life, that really didn't know she was pregnant and panicked? I don't know what to think, honestly. Um, I'm waiting to hear what the rest of the evidence will show when the trial starts in October. Now that's a preliminary date. It may get pushed back further. She is out on $100,000 bond, which is pretty lenient, I think. But where's she gonna go? She went back to school. She finished her senior year. She'll probably start college in the fall, and then get ready for the trial. But this attorney seemed very adamant that he was going after the hospital for malpractice. Should they have entered the bathroom sooner? I don't know. Certainly, they should have walked her in there and said, "Here, look, here's the cord. If you get into trouble, pull the cord." I would have pulled that rip cord out of the wall if there's a baby coming out of me. But that's just me. Leave me your comments. Let me know what you think. And I will see you tomorrow in Crafting and Crime Daily. Bye, everybody.